Lights out, I'm your favorite. Too many ways, been in your place, they still late.
2023 has been an absolutely insane year. I mean, we're talking, we had the introduction of AI, which means a lot of us probably have our jobs in jeopardy, which I hope we don't. But it has been a year of a lot of ups, a lot of downs, especially for me. I've gone through quite possibly more than I've usually gone through. You guys are wondering why I'm shaking. My cameraman might have just fallen down the stairs to make sure you guys do get this shot. But I wanted to make a video really highlighting what nobody really talks about. Everyone focuses on their goals and everyone wants these big goals. I want to make a lot of money. I want to see a lot of things. But I wanted to focus on goals that actually help you going into 2024. And so as we focus on those goals, I'm going to break them down. So here are 7 things that you need to take into the new year that if you add to your list, you'll be good. You're gonna fail a lot in 2024, I'll be honest with you, but that is just a simple part of growing, so do not be afraid of it. But I will say that if you have one of any of these 7 goals that you put on your list, then you probably can call it a successful year, because these are 7 things that most people, I would say about 97% of people, do not focus on. Now that's my own statistics, so don't take it to heart, but if you do it, then you probably are in the 3 percentile according to me. Now number 1, I want you to understand that consistency is better than results. A lot of people, they start something and they want results tomorrow, or they want it 2-3 days afterwards. But I want you to understand that just continuously doing something every single day and forming that habit, it only takes 21 days to form a habit. We have 365 going into the new year. If you just take 3 weeks out of 52 to actually focus on something and do it well, you now have a greater chance of continuously being able to do it and do it and do it and do it and see greater results. So consistency, it is better than results, because at the end of the day, consistency compounds. Results, they don't last forever. Or, as a lot of commercials like to say, results may vary. And I don't want that for you. Number 2, this may be a little bit more controversial because I hate this rhetoric that's on social media where people say, double your income, triple your income, quadruple. Listen, income is not the focus, money is not the focus, but it is a very vital and important part of life. So I want you to understand that this year that we are stepping into, the number 1 thing that you should make your focus when it does come to money is to at least increase your income by 15%. And some people get upset by that. They say, well, why not 50 or 100? Like I see all these gurus, they say they turn $200 into 14 million. Cool, that's them. But our lives are all different. We have families, we have friends, we have bills, we have a lot. We have baggage. Because the beautiful thing about baggage is that you need it to take trips, and trips are a part of learning and growing in life. So when I say grow your income 15%, the national average income for raises is 7%. So I said we need to be above average because we're gonna be better. So you need to try at least to double that number of 7% so you can at least have 15%, whether that's taking more overtime hours, whether that's putting in more work so that you do get a larger raise, whether that's realizing, hey, I may not be valued where I am right now, but in the future, I know I'll be valued somewhere else. Or now my credibility and my skills are up to date to where I can go find a better job opportunity and they're gonna pay me more. And when you aim for 15, you'd be shocked when sometimes you may get 20, 25, 50, 85, who knows what it might increase by. But as long as you at least try, you know that you're going to get something out of it. Number 3, move out of your comfort zone. Listen, growth, it's essential. It is a part of life. It's growing pains. You're gonna go through a lot, but at the end of the day, it is essential. And a lot of people stay where they're at and want more for themselves, but they don't actually move. And the only way that you can grow is when you are uncomfortable, because you have to be taken out of your comfort zone to understand this is what I wasn't doing well enough. This is what I need to do better. This is where I was lacking, and this is how I can improve. So yes, it's gonna be something that you don't really like to do. It's gonna be something that doesn't feel as comfortable. You hate going to the gym because you always have to sweat. And for some women, I can relate. Why do we have to do cardio when men get to eat 14,000 calories and still be fit? I get it. But if your biggest priority is your health, you only get one chance with your life. And if you only get one chance, you don't want to get into any accidents. You want to make sure you're as healthy as possible, because what I have noticed is that, listen, if you get in a car accident and your car is totaled, you can always get a new car. But if anything happens to the beautiful thing that encompasses you, you don't get a second chance. And so you want to make sure that you are putting your best into making sure you are doing the best for yourself. So I know it's uncomfortable, but let's get out of being comfortable and let's make some real growth. Number 4, a lot of people probably struggle with this. I know I have. For the greater half of 2023, this was one of my biggest struggles, and it is fighting comparison. It is easy to look at other people's lifestyles and other people's different things that they have. This person bought a new car. This person bought their family a house. This person always has the nicest clothes. Whatever it is, it's easy to look at that and say, oh my gosh, I wish that was me. But at the end of the day, it's not you, because you have something special, because you are you for a reason. You were put on this planet for a reason, to help whoever you were supposed to help, whether that's a lot of people, whether that's 1 or 2 people. I had a cousin who died in 2019, and at his memorial service, there were maybe only 25 people. But because of his death, it brought me closer to God, because I saw how on fire he was for God. And I was like, I need to have this in my life. And because of him, I've now been able to go on to impact millions of people. And I wouldn't even say it's me, because if it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't have done that. And so it took one person to change millions. And that's what it may be for you. You may be like, well, Kelly, I want to be this really big social media star. I want brands to pay me. I want to do all this. But maybe that's not your purpose and goal. Maybe you're not meant to be driving the Lamborghinis or Ferraris yet, because I never believe that anything is set in stone. I always believe that we do have a certain control over our lives. But I want you to understand that when you compare yourself to other people, you do yourself a disservice. And I can tell you this from a point of view of someone who is kind of a presence on social media. A lot of these people are very phony. A lot of them are scammers. A lot of them are liars. A lot of them inflate what they have. I saw somebody bragging the other day about how they were flying on a private jet, and it was a commercial airplane, and they waited till they were the last person to get off this plane so that they could take a picture and make it look like they rented the entire plane. And that, to me, is not okay. But many people will see that and say, oh my gosh, I need to get on a private jet, and I need to look at how this person's doing that. It wasn't true, and it was false. And I want you to understand that comparison is the thief of joy for a reason. And the biggest joy that you can find is in what you enjoy doing, what you love, and what your purpose is. Number 5, try that thing that you've always wanted to try. Life is just so short to stick to the same things. You never know if you don't try. And I also am a firm believer that if you don't do it, your opinion about it is 100% negative. You just won't know. So for example, if you've always been eating the same food, for those of you who go to every restaurant and want chicken strips and fries, this is time to actually get a steak for once, or to actually try something different, whether it's a fried rice, a noodle dish, whatever it is. This is the time to do so. On top of that, for those of you who've been too scared to post content, let me tell you something. The people that you have around you, or you know, or you went to high school with, you work with, they care about you 10 times less than you actually think they do. They do not go to sleep and say, hey, I am wondering if so-so is thinking about me tonight. People don't go to sleep and say, I wonder if Kelly is going to do this, and that's the last thought before they sleep. No, people think about their real life problems the same way you're watching this video to potentially solve yours. So I want you to understand that no matter what, as long as you try and you do something different, you are making progress, and you are making steps, and you are defining growth in your life, because you can say, I did try that thing, and you may not enjoy it, but at least you'll never have the thought in your head of what if. Because I would rather deal with the consequence of knowing that I tried and maybe failed than to always deal with regret of never trying. So I want you to understand that. Number 6, I had a little bit of an issue here, as you guys can see with the whole team. I definitely had my mic pop off, but it's back on. And I just want to say that the timing in which you do things are most important, which does include number 6, which is that being punctual is incredibly important. If you can do something today, then do it today. And if you cannot, then try it tomorrow. Because yes, you will have tomorrow. You may not have tomorrow. But as long as you do try today, then do it. But being punctual is not just about doing things. It's about start showing up on time. I know you're the friend that everybody makes the joke that you're 30 minutes late. But when something is really important to somebody and that time is important, they want to make sure that you were there when they say they're there. You don't want to be the friend that people start marking out of things because they're like, they're never going to show up on time. They're never going to start on time. They're always late. We have to do this. You don't define someone's schedule. And you want to make sure that because you don't define someone's schedule, that you are aiding in it. So be punctual to where you're at, but be punctual in your own life. If you say, tomorrow I'm going to start trading, then tomorrow you start trading. If you say, I really, really want to start actually taking care of my skin, then right there in that moment say, you know what, I'm gonna start looking at different skincare routines that I can try, or skincare products. Don't say, I mean, I could do it now, but I'm gonna try tomorrow. Because that means tomorrow you're gonna say the same excuse and the same excuse, and you need to move with urgency in your life because every day is not promised. Which brings me to number 7, that is the most important thing that I think everyone should take seriously. Number 7, focus on making memories, not money. In this day and age of social media, people come and they preach and they tell you a billion times that the most important thing in this life is to make millions and millions of dollars. And I've been there and I've done that. And so some people even go ahead and dismiss whatever I say because they say, well, you've done it, Kelly. You've been there. You don't understand my life. And I get it. But one thing I know is that Wells Fargo, Bank of America, the Swiss bank, nobody is following you behind in your hearse when it's time for you to descend to the clouds. Nobody is. And because nobody is, you need to make sure, when I say nobody, I mean money, before you're like, but my family, I get it. No financial amount is going to follow you to the grave. Understand that. And because you need to understand that, know that memories are the most important thing. Don't put too much emphasis on work that you forget the most important things and joys of life. You're never spending time or on the phone or putting any effort into your hobbies, your family, just things that don't actually make you money but do bring you good memories. Because at the end of the day, those are the stuff that are gonna matter. There's a very important quote that I often like to remind myself of, and it's that you die twice, right? You die once when you physically leave this planet, and you die the second time the last person in your life has remembered you, or on this planet has remembered you. So always make sure that in everyone's life you are trying to leave a positive impact. And two, always remember that memory is the most important part of our lives. It's how we move, that's our muscle memory. It's how we remember, that's our literal memory. It's so much of our lives. It's how we have goals and dreams. That's the reticular activating system in our brain. What it does is every time you say, I like that, it stores that memory and it shows it to you more. So know that this is more important than this, because these can get chopped off. They can disappear. They can never come back. But what you have here is a literal part of you and a permanent part of you. And so as you go into 2024, I want you to take a better initiative into actually putting effort into making your life better, into growth, into sustainability, and into making memories and not just focusing on what everyone else online shows you. Try to disconnect, enjoy what you have, and remember that you are the most important person in your life. Nobody else, and especially no other person. Have a great, great, great night and an even greater 2024. And I will see you as we move into 2025. Bye, guys.